The political slugfest in Pakistan has reached its boiling point. Adding another twist to turmoil, Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan has called for early elections, pushing Pakistan into a constitutional crisis from a political one. After Imran Khan's proposal, Pakistan President Arif Alvi has dissolved the assemblies. In his address to the nation, Imran Khan said that the political conspiracy with foreign interference has failed to topple a democratically elected government in Pakistan. Imran Khan asked citizens to prepare for next elections and said that the people of Pakistan will decide the fate of their nation.
मैं आज अपनी सारी कौम को मुबारक देना चाहता हूँ कि नेशनल असेंबली के हमारे स्पीकर ने मुस्तरद किया, रिजेक्ट किया एक वो मूव रिजीम चेंज की जो कोशिश की गई थी पाकिस्तान के 22 करोड़ अवाम में, एक बाहर से प्लान किया हुआ नो कॉन्फिडेंस मोशन जिसके पीछे एक फॉरेन एजेंडा था, और जो आज स्पीकर ने उसको जो रिजेक्ट किया है और ये नो कॉन्फिडेंस को जो रिजेक्ट किया, मैं सारी कौम को आज मुबारक देता हूँ। अपनी कौम को आज कहता हूँ कि आप इलेक्शंस की तैयारी करें और आपने फैसला करना है। किसी बाहर की कुव्वत, किसी करप्ट लोगों ने फैसला नहीं करना कि इस मुल्क का मुस्तकबिल क्या होगा। आपने फैसला करना है इस मुल्क का, और इंशाअल्लाह हम प्रेसिडेंट साहब को जब एडवाइस चला जाएगा, असेंबलीज डिसॉल्व हो जाएंगी और फिर आगे जो भी प्रोसीजर है अगले इलेक्शन का, केयर टेकर गवर्नमेंट का, वो अब शुरू हो जाएगा। मैं अपनी कौम को मुबारक देता हूँ और मैं अल्लाह का शुक्र अदा करता हूँ कि इतनी बड़ी साजिश जो मुल्क से की जा रही थी, एक इलेक्टेड 22 करोड़ की कौम जिसकी इलेक्टेड हुकूमत को गिराने की कोशिश की गई है, इस साजिश से वो आज फेल हो गई है।
Imran Khan's announcement came just minutes after the Deputy Speaker adjourned the National Assembly session, calling the session unconstitutional. The Deputy Speaker said that the session was a contradiction to Article 5 of the Constitution. He added that he rejects the attempts of changing the regime with foreign interference.
वज़ीर-ए-आज़म पाकिस्तान के खिलाफ अपोजिशन ने अदम-ए-एतमाद की तहरीक 8 मार्च 2022 को पेश की थी। अदम-ए-एतमाद की तहरीक आइन, कानून और रूल्स के मुताबिक होना जरूरी है। किसी गैर मुल्की ताकत को यह हक नहीं कि वो साजिश के तहत पाकिस्तान के अवाम की मुंतखब हुकूमत को गिराए। वज़ीर कानून ने जो नुकात उठाए हैं वो दुरुस्त है, वैलिड है, लिहाजा मैं रूलिंग देता हूं कि अदम-ए-एतमाद की करारदाद आइन और कौमी मुख्तारी व आज़ादी से मुनाफी है और रूल्स और ज़ाब्ते के खिलाफ है। ये करारदाद में मुस्तरद डिसअलाउ करने की रूलिंग देता हूं। ईवान की कार्रवाई रोक की जाती है। फरमान में इस्लामी जमहूरिया पाकिस्तान के दस्तूर के आर्टिकल 54 की शिक 3 के तहत तजवीज़ करदा इख्तियारात को बरवेकार लाते हुए कौमी असम्बली का जुमा 25 मार्च 2022 को तलब करदा इजलास इसके काम के इख्तिताम पर बाज़रिया हाज़िर बर्खास्त करता हूं।
A piece of paper that Imran Khan flashed in his rally in Islamabad last week, a document that allegedly contains evidence of an international conspiracy to topple his government, has once again become the center of political crisis in Pakistan. Earlier, Pak Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi said that before the session, he received a call from his Turkish counterpart who said that Ankara is closely monitoring the situation in Pakistan and that the government should complete the 5-year term.
इस सारी मूव से जो मरासले की हुई है उससे पाकिस्तान की इंटरनेशनल रेपुटेशन और फॉरेन पॉलिसी को भी कोई हिट और रामिफिकेशन हो सकते हैं।
कह रहे हैं देखिए पहली बात ये है कि जो गुफ्तगू हुई है कभी सफारती आदाब तकाजे उसकी इजाजत देते हैं? कोई खुद मुख्तार मुल्क, कोई सॉवरन कंट्री इसकी इजाजत देती है? और अगर आपने अब सवाल कर दिया है तो अंश फिर मैं आपको एक बहुत अहम बात कर दूं जो अभी तक मैंने किसी से नहीं की और आज कर रहा हूं। अभी जब मैं असेंबली के लिए आ रहा था तो तुर्की के वजीर खारजा का मुझे फोन आया और उसने तशवीश का इजहार किया है। उन्होंने कहा है हम पल पल की खबर देख रहे हैं पाकिस्तान में क्या हो रहा है। हम समझते हैं कि इमरान खान को अपनी आईनी मुद्दत पूरी करनी चाहिए।
The opposition is protesting inside and even outside the Pakistan parliament. They claim that they had crossed the magic number of 172, which they also claimed that they had 176 during this no-confidence motion debate, with support of at least 174 lawmakers of the National Assembly. The joint opposition has called the Speaker's ruling unconstitutional and had decided to sit in the National Assembly until the Supreme Court takes a decision.
स्पीकर साहब ने गैर आईनी काम किया है, पाकिस्तान का आईन तोड़वाया गया है, पाकिस्तान के आईन को तोड़ने का सजा वाज़ेह है, अदम एतमाद का वोटिंग आज ही होना है आईन के मुताबिक। यूनाइटेड ऑपोजिशन ने यह फैसला किया है कि हम नेशनल असेंबली में धरना देंगे जब तक हमारा आईनी हक ना दिया जाए, और हम अपना लॉयर से इस वक्त आज ही अभी सुप्रीम कोर्ट पहुंचेंगे कि हमारा पोलिंग, हमारा अदम एतमाद का वोट आज ही किया जाए। अदम एतमाद वजीर आजम साहब के खिलाफ जमा हो चुका है, वो पार्लियामान को डिसॉल्व भी नहीं कर सकता है, अदम एतमाद का मुकाबला करना पड़ेगा।
Javed Rana is a journalist and strategic affairs expert. Thank you very much for staying on, Javed. Pakistan Prime Minister Khan will continue his responsibility, and we also heard from the foreign minister in Pakistan, that is Mr. Qureshi, who says that he had a call with his Turkish counterpart, and Turkey says that it is monitoring the current situation in Pakistan. What or how important countries like Turkey influencing Pakistan?
Turkey is among the few countries which has a huge influence on Pakistan, on its opposition parties, on its military, on the ruling parties, and more importantly, the Turkey itself has been victim of the military coup back in 2016, which was sponsored by the USA. So Turkey feels that this is a part of the same American game to topple the government, to destabilize the government. And obviously, Turkey has a sympathetic approach towards Prime Minister Imran Khan. But we have to see a bigger picture which is developing in this part of the world. And that is that the USA doesn't want China to become a superpower like itself. So the basic reason is the USA wants to contain China, and the road and build project, which is a key project, international project, global project of the China, that passes through Pakistan. It in fact begins from Pakistan. So USA wants Pakistan to disrupt that process. US wants Pakistan to slow down that process because US has to contain the China. That is at the heart of the problem. Now, Prime Minister Imran Khan has been having far more closer relation with the China, with Russia, and also very importantly, the Saudi Arabia, UAE, they are no longer as having a close relation with the USA as it used to be. They are heading towards now close to China and Russia. And Prime Minister Imran Khan, along with the UAE, Saudi Arabia, he is joining a Chinese bloc. And China and the USA is trying to disrupt that bloc by having a greater behind-the-scene coordination with the opposition parties and also with Pakistan's military, which has withdrawn its political support to the ruling party. But at the same time, we should not forget that Pakistan is a country where more than 80,000 people were killed in so-called American war against terror. Therefore, there are already anti-American sentiments, and Prime Minister Imran Khan has managed to stoke those anti-American sentiments. There is a greater possibility that he can return to power through election if the military does not indulge itself in electoral manipulation in coming elections. Yes.
In the past, Pak Prime Minister Imran Khan has been saying that the foreign policy in the country is being manipulated. How would you interpret that? What did he mean? And does he want it changed or something?
Well, he has been unhappy behind the scene with the military because military has been known to be pro-US. The military journals were trained in the Western countries, so therefore they have the orientation towards the West. Unlike the military journals and unlike Pakistan's top politicians from opposition parties, Prime Minister Imran Khan understands the West far better than any other politician because he has lived for decades in the West. He understands them. Now, he is trying to have a balanced, independent foreign policy. But having a independent foreign policy, something he referred like India, as he is dealing with the USA and Russia, he wants a similar policy. But that his approach is being misinterpreted in Pakistan within the military and by the opposition parties as if he is heading towards China and Russia. It may be the case, he might have some tilt towards China. But here, there is a history of having pro-US approach, which has unfortunately come at the cost of Pakistan's economy, which has come at the cost of killing of tens of thousands of people because Pakistan joined so-called American war against terror. But this is time things have changed. You may recall the Americans have been at the heart of the allegation for assassinating a number of Pakistani politicians and the top leaders, sitting prime ministers and the presidents. And no situation has changed. People are upset. If you talk to the common people, they are for Prime Minister Imran Khan. He might have committed an act of illegality through a deputy speaker. But so far as people are concerned, he is becoming far more popular because there are anti-American sentiments in Pakistan, which he has sparked.
We'll have to leave it there. Journalist and strategic affairs expert Javed Rana, thank you very much for making time and for talking to WION today. WION's Pakistan Bureau Chief Anas Malik has sent us this report from Islamabad.
Well, he is a popular leader. That being said, he's known for building narratives, and he seemed to have successfully built this narrative of a foreign conspiracy against his government. Sorry, pardon me on that. Of a foreign conspiracy on his government. He has this popular wave that supports him, and that is one of the reasons he's banking on an early call for elections. We've seen statements from the from what are now the former federal ministers. Farooq Habib said that he tweeted that elections will be held in the next 90 days. So Imran Khan, by and large, is thriving on that popularity narrative, on that popular narrative that people of Pakistan are going to side with him based on one public gathering that he's done in Islamabad. That was last Sunday. So, but it still remains to be seen whether supporters transpire into voters, yes or no. That's a bigger question. And secondly, how will the court react? The military has said that it has nothing to do with whatever has transpired today. In fact, I'll just read you the statement of the Pakistani military spokesperson. He said, and I quote, "Whatever has happened today, the institution that is understood as the army has nothing to do with it," unquote. Now, he was speaking to the local TV channels here in Pakistan, and so there is a bigger crisis at hand. It remains to be seen how the court will react, and what would be the future course of action going forward for the Supreme Court in order to determine the legality of the actions of today.
There is an unprecedented situation currently unfolding in Pakistan's National Assembly. We are getting you the latest visuals from inside the Pakistan National Assembly, where the joint opposition is holding a parallel session after the House was adjourned by the Deputy Speaker. The combined opposition, which is on a sit-in protest in the National Assembly, has chosen its leader and its Speaker and has presided over for testing the floor strength. PMNN lawmaker Ayaz Sadiq has taken the chair of the Speaker.
किसी स्पीकर के पास इख्तियार नहीं है कि वो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के ऊपर रूलिंग दे। आर्टिकल 5 ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन इसका 1 कहता है, लॉयल्टी टू द स्टेट इज द बेसिक ड्यूटी ऑफ एवरी सिटीजन। आप सब अल्लाह ताला की मेहरबानी से लॉयल हैं टू द स्टेट ऑफ पाकिस्तान और किसी को हक नहीं है।
And we are still on that. WION's Pakistan Bureau Chief Anas Malik has sent us this report from Islamabad.
All eyes are on this building that's behind me. My camera person Waqar can also show you that this is the presidency. That's the presidency flag that is fluttering high on the presidency. That you can see, it's very clear. And this is going to, whatever actions comes here from here will decide and set the future course of action in Pakistan going forward. Now, the president has accepted the summary to dissolve the assemblies. The Prime Minister will continue to work to function under Article 224 of the Constitution. There is still high drama that's currently ongoing. It's still not over until it's actually over, as they say it. In the assembly where I'm standing, about a floor beneath me is where the main hall is, and a parallel session has been called by the opposition. The former Speaker of the House, who was under the PMLN rule, Ayaz Sadiq, has taken the chair back, and he is presiding a session as well, a parallel session to be precise. In between, we saw that the lights were put off. As we speak, there are counts that are ongoing on the voting on what the opposition says is a no confidence motion. Now, what is also to be noted is that the Supreme Court has been opened now, and in about 45 minutes to 1 hour from now, we'll be seeing the Pakistan People's Party putting up a constitutional petition against what has happened today in Pakistan. Essentially, this is slaughtering the constitution, as how legal experts put it. And whatever surprise Imran Khan would want to call it, realistically speaking, this is murder of the Pakistani constitution, murder of democracy that has been done, though in a very technical manner. But by and large, what Imran Khan has done would be having long-term ramifications for the country, not locally, but globally as well.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.